in the business. So he was my mentor since I got to ownership. I don't know if you guys, for top leaders and above and owners, like, bro, you're watching a billionaire in the making. Like, I know that guy is gonna be $1 billion earner. Like, and you're watching him on the way. He's about to crack $1 million for the first time this year in 2022. In a 1 year period, earning over $1 million in income. He's gonna crack, and he's, think about it, 1 billion is 999 million plus one, right? So he's that much more away, but it's the compound effect. Anybody read that book, Compound Effect, or the Atomic Habits? You get the first million, it's a lot more difficult. Who agrees with me? The first two sales are way more difficult than sale 3 and 4. Yeah. Right? It's because the momentum, the positivity, the confidence comes up, right? So for you guys that are not like obsessed, it's okay to be radical about it. With people like Rafael, he's 26 years old. Family, he's born in America, but family is from overseas, from Ecuador. Like, this guy is a millionaire. He's a millionaire, works at your job, and started at entry level. He's a millionaire, and you could go visit his office and see what he says is not too crazy. Like that video, yeah, you could 100%. That video, was it anything like out of your mind? Like, wow, that's like a trick? No, it's all like leadership, common sense stuff, right? So anyway, I recommend watching it. If you guys want the video again, he has plenty of videos. I would recommend watching all of them. In Alpha Elite Marketing, if you Google that or if you put that on YouTube. But Alpha Elite Marketing, they record videos. That's why I got the idea of recording videos, because it helps other people that are not in the office. And I am super jacked. Like, I've watched that video already 3 times, and it's a meeting he ran for his guys in his office, like just a regular meeting. So anyway, watch it. Okay, so you guys would agree? We're gonna draw circles. You guys like circles? Cool. So we're gonna draw a big circle. So we're gonna make this. Oh, wow.
Is this going to be on the throwaway piece of paper?
No, this is the throwaway piece of paper. Keep it in your pocket or whatever. Okay. So, is that a bad circle? Yeah. Thank you. Okay, so is it okay to make this meeting a little more participative, where you guys can talk? Yeah. Awesome. So, I'm gonna write down all the stuff you guys say on the outside part of the circle. So let's talk about regular negative stuff that happens to us throughout the day. So we're gonna have a 10-minute session. It's okay to vent out and neg out about things that piss you off during the day. And you can say so, and we're gonna put them all here. Mr. Wade.
Door slams.
Oh my God, let's go. Who likes them door slams, right?
I got another one.
All right, go.
Cows.
Yes.
All right.
I hate cows.
And by the way, cows cannot operate without spouse, if you do not know what that means.
You really gonna be upset with you for getting water?
What do you want?
Rude people, right? Oh my God, them good ones.
Ooh, racist.
Any other negative?
Racist.
Oh, you get some racist people, huh? They're still around.
Yeah, they're still around.
Not for too much longer.
Creepers. They'll call you like 15 times before you're at the next door.
Oh my God, yes.
Wait, what?
Wait, what?
Girls, I recommend getting a ring. If you're not engaged, get a big ring.
Yeah, like
And pepper spray.
Like you see, Bree don't get that much creeper because she's like, hi, here's my ring. Anything else, guys? Come on, say, give me one.
You know, whenever they look at you dead in the face and don't open the door.
Wait, what? Man,
That's a big
that's really particular.
The blind peepers.
I know behind the door, but
The blind peepers.
Card fails.
Card fails. Love them.
When they don't know their billing address.
That's not a thing.
They're old ones, like they're old ones.
Outside
I don't want to say it's not a thing, but
That's like car failures. That's like car
Getting
failures.
kicked out. Okay.
It's Amon, that's very easy to fix. It's the way you're asking about it.
when they keep.
Don't ask for a billing address. Hey, where you used to live? What was the address? Don't tell me.
getting kicked out of here.
Kicked out. Ooh, love them.
Oh yeah.
You know what's the best part that I love about getting kicked out? When sometimes I've got approval to be there, and they kick me out 30 minutes later.
Yes.
I'm like, damn. Can you guys be on the same page? So frustrating, right?
I mean, just a lot of no's.
Just no's. How about just getting a bunch of no's,
Like 40 tacos
on a
and all
sandwich
no's.
with no,
Two phones.
Especially after they ask you to like repeat it like 3 times because they don't understand or comprehend, and you keep explaining it, and then they be like, oh no, like you just wasted 15 minutes of my time to look at 3 different photos.
Bree's going through some stuff, right? That's awesome. Hey, some more. Wiley, you got some? Anything that personally feels frustrating for you? Card failures. We got them in.
Language barrier.
Language barrier. There we go.
It's when they say
works.
yeah, all the way to the picture.
Oh, I got one.
Okay, leaders. Let's talk about leadership stuff now, maybe less than in the field. Leaders, tell me some frustrating things that have happened to you throughout your development.
People who will say they're gonna
Quit.
Yeah.
Quitters. You know,
Yeah.
some people get surprised about quitters. People quit everything. This job is no different. You know, people quit on their goals. Most people quit on their goals. People quit on what they want. People quit on diets. People quit on workout habits. People quit on the gym. Why would they not quit on relationships for sure? Mr. Key.
Poor decision makers.
Poor decision makers. There we go. Poor decision makers.
Or when you got a negative person.
Today at
car
home.
ride.
Not qualifying.
Not qualifying.
Oh, bro, why are you getting personal?
Unqualified. You know, like, you guys know Tracy had about 2 weeks that he almost got the pin, but he didn't. So the closer he would get and not get it, the more we would like poke him with it. Charlie brought him home, I think, on the second week or something like that.
It's easy. Live.
It was funny.
Well,
Come on, give me some.
Bro, training people with a slow pace.
Oh my God. Oh my God.
Those lazy
Training people with less work ethic. This is very frustrating. When you train people that don't want to be trained, think about it. Weren't you ever that person maybe in school, or did you ever see those kids in school that were in class because they're forced to be in class, but they don't want to be taught? So they're just doing whatever it takes to like sabotage the class. Maybe that was you, right? I know it was me for a little bit. Mr. Wade, give me another one.
When they're unprepared.
Unprepared. Very frustrating. Unprepared. Key.
Territory complainers.
Territory complaints. Territory complaints. What about anybody that's brand new? Can we let them speak? Anybody that maybe hasn't qualified for leadership yet, that is working on it, and then you're seeing some frustrations. By the way, this is how it works to get to leadership. We see like when you got to go through a few frustrations, overcome them, and that's normally when you hit your qualification days. It's after you overcome some frustrations. There's very, very few leaders that they don't have any challenges. They just get promoted. So it's normal to go through some frustrations. Just voice them out loud so that we can see if they're normal too. Give us some. Amy.
Like personal things.
Yeah,
Your
yeah.
Personal things.
Give it up for us. Go.
Oh no, this is not Dr. Phil. Just personal.
Personal stuff, right? Personal
Well, that's the thing, yeah.
stuff. Right. Life happens, right? Like, does life happen to everybody?
Yeah.
Like life, right? Like family deaths, emergencies, right?
Self-doubt.
Self-doubt. Super
Big
big one,
one.
right? Magali, give me something. Self-doubt.
Yeah.
Okay.
Depression.
Oh man,
And
anxiety.
you know, one thing I love about self-doubt is, especially in our business, is that most people start the business, people that have, like Magali or like Alante, people that have like accountants, they start the business feeling overqualified to do the entry level, because they are. You're overqualified to do just the entry level. Maybe underqualified for ownership, right? But definitely overqualified. Imagine Tommy starting this thing on entry level. He came from managing 40 servers, right, in a restaurant. So he's like, this entry level thing is. But then you get in the field and you after a few weeks you doubt yourself that you can do it. When like before you started it, you were like too confident about it. Then you get in it and you're like, ooh, right? And we doubt ourselves sometimes, and it sometimes doesn't make a lot of sense. Chris, give me something, man. Is there anything that has ever frustrated you?
Has anybody said what?
I guess self-image.
Self-image. Ooh, that's a good one. I love that. Yeah, Jonathan, say it louder. Weather. Dude, let me tell you the truth. I got negged out about the weather. I was on a walk with Monica because so she wants to be doing walks and stuff.
Good for the baby.
Walk around the neighborhood. I normally don't do that, so I'm surprised. I'm walking where? And I'm like, just about the block. Yeah. So anyway, we're walking around, and she was like, and we were like looking at the weather. It was 78 degrees. This is like I think it was Monday. 78 degrees at 6:45 p.m. or 7 p.m. We're just walking. I'm about to knock a door because I'm like, this is such a good weather. And and then we look at the weather and it was gonna be like 28 on Friday, and we were like, anybody do that when they see the weather? Like,
Yeah.
even if you work inside, you're like, you just don't like that weather. Like, your attitude is just no against the weather. That makes sense. Weather definitely makes people out. Anything else?
Just negative people, period.
Negative people, period. We did put some more there. Rude people. Negative people. Anything else?
Sickness.
People being sick, right? Sickness.
Overthinking.
Like, you've seen how COVID unrevealed a lot of the sickness stuff. Like, have you not seen Instagram posts on people that they're like, hey, I see it. It was a celebrity. She's like, finally got COVID. I just really also need 2 weeks in quarantine and take some time. And it's like, did you really? Like, okay, you got COVID, but like, what was it? You know?
She happy.
And she knows that everybody announced already that quarantine shouldn't be more than 4 or 5 days. Because the government is running out of money to pay for people that stay at home. Yeah. So you see how, like, it's not like the quarantine is safer for 5 days or 14. This is just an opinion, maybe. It's like, now they don't have enough money, so like, hey, now you're not sick after 5 days. It was used to be 14, because we can afford 14. Now they're like, yeah, 5 you're fine. But nobody asked why. I go, why 5? Oh, because the virus, is it because the virus is less? Is it really? Like, or did we just think that? Anyway, just a thought, just throwing it out there. Maybe just make your own decisions. But it's like, yeah, the scamdemic. I didn't say that. Anyway, okay, cool. So we all agree that whether you don't relate to some of these, that they're there, that they're frustrating. Would we agree? Sarah, you agree? Sarah's really hard to frustrate. I'm like, damn. So would we agree these are frustrating stuff, right?
Yeah.
Okay, so now let's put in the middle. What would be like the reason why you would go through all of this stuff?
Growth.
So growth. I'm gonna put mine, and you got this is a smaller thing. I wanted a position in ownership because I just wanted to be in control of my life. I understood at some point life was going to happen, like all these negatives were gonna happen. Like if you have a different job, who's had a different job and it had negative stuff too?
Oh, yeah.
Oh,
Like,
yeah.
you might be serving the military and serving the country and the best country in the world, and there's still negatives. Like there's no perfect job. So once you recognize that, you forget a little bit more. This is a thought maybe that I would like for you guys to start thinking about. Like, ask yourself, like, do I do stuff because of the result? Am I outcome oriented or process oriented? And most of us are very process oriented because we care a lot about what we do because it gives people opinions about us. You know what I mean? Like I can tell my mom that I work at Starbucks, it sounds a lot better than working for Newbern, right? But which one creates a better outcome? And in my opinion, working here creates a better outcome based on my experience. I didn't work for Starbucks, I worked for Whataburger. I feel it's a similar food chain, right? So ownership was for me it was not like ownership like I just wanted to run meetings or anything. For me it was more like I just want to be the person that makes the decisions because these things are going to happen to me either way. So as long as I have the decision, if it's my problem, at least I get to be the problem. I also get to be a solution. Yes, sir.
Family time.
Family time. So somebody doesn't want to be a missing parent, right? And then get to know their kids after they're grown. That is a great reason, right? Kids start remembering stuff around what age?
7.
7? Cool. So I got about 7 years.
Generational wealth.
Yeah, my son's 4, so he got about 2.
You got about
Got
3.
1 year.
You got about 2 or 3.
Yeah. So.
I don't have kids.
3 weeks.
Generational wealth.
She's like, anything else? Anything else that you're really motivated for that? Anybody that has a why? If you don't have a why, it's okay. It's like
Money.
It's okay. It could be just money.
Generational
Let me tell you something. If you're only motivated by money, you're not gonna do well.
Stability.
Maybe breaking a family chain. Maybe people come from
Legacy
like
growth.
That's
people
pretty
that just
strong.
live off of like welfare their whole life.
You see why Amy's doing well?
Yeah.
It's breaking a family curse. Is a pretty big reason.
Leave a legacy.
Challenges. Leave a legacy. Tommy got to leave a legacy. He got 4 children. So.
You ain't
Yeah,
got a choice.
at least 2 legacies so they can split it. What was it? Freedom, right? I love that one.
Wendy's version for sure.
You know, how about we live in a free country, but then how many people you see that retire and then they're saying hello at the entrance at Walmart?
Oh yeah.
Like, and it's nothing bad about that job. It's just like if you don't do America, if you don't do it well, you're gonna work all your life. You're gonna be slave to a job. You're not gonna enjoy like the perks of this country, which is it's a free enterprise, free market, all that stuff. So cool. So here's the little thing that I want you guys to now drop your notebooks and get the piece of paper that you were apart.
Oh, yeah.
And I want you to roll a little. How do you call it? A little like roll the paper.
A little tunnel.
A little tunnel. A cylinder. Yes.
Which way, hot dog or hamburger style?
I don't care. Just a cylinder. And hey, and I want you to maybe go up there. It's okay. It's okay. Let her do the exercise like that.
She's rolling in the circle.
It's okay. And so you can see it. Now, go back enough or get yourself in a position where you look through one eye, cover your other eye, and you only see the middle. Go.
I'm good. I see it right now. Perfect.
Only see the middle. Only point to the middle, to the smaller circle. Get yourself in the middle. Like, I want you to do it. I want you to do it. How many of you guys are visual learners? Cool. Actually do it.
Oh, yeah, look at that.
Oh, I get the point. Actually do it. You guys see it?
Yeah.
Cool.
I can't see nothing but
Everybody, get the thing in your eye. Freedom. Get it up. Get it up.
Should I do it to the camera?
Get it up. So, when you look at this, don't keep it up. Brad, put it up. When you look at the word ownership, everybody sees the word ownership, right?
Yeah.
When you're looking at it, does it make all the other stuff that you remember we wrote down on the outside of the circle, does it disappear?
Oh, yeah.
Yeah.
It does disappear, right? Does it mean it's never gonna happen though?
No.
So when you look at all these things, right? You only see ownership right now, right? It's what we call tunnel vision, tunnel focus, right? But are all the negatives that are on the way, are they gone?
No.
They're still there, right? So now, why is it that some people like hit the goal and some other people don't?
Because they have tunnel vision.
They lose sight.
But would we agree that all the negatives that are surrounding ownership, would we agree that they're still there? We're going to go through them in some shape or form. Some people, it's a self-image thing. Some people is negatives in the field. Some people it's personal stuff. Some people is like the weather gets you, the no's get you, the self-doubt gets you. But they're all there. But the goal is still there, right? So it's like the question is like, what does it take for you to have a tunnel focus and focus only on the price? When you look at the positives, right? This is why the field is such a great example for you guys that are in the field and you're not seeing your full potential. Like, why are you in the field? You're getting all of this thrown at you, but the thing is still there. What would happen to your brain if you were only capable, you're only capable of looking at the positives? Would you have a positive outcome?
Yeah.
100%. But the negatives are still there. So it's the strength, the discipline to ignore the negatives, because the negatives are still there. Agree, bullet, and close, right? Agree, acknowledge the negative, and move on. But the negatives are always there. And some of you guys let this even sink into your life. Like you have a bad day at work, and you let it be a bad day at your life too. And it's like, oh my gosh, right? It's almost unfair to the people you live with. You pay the price. Some parents do it at home. Do it to us. If you live with your parents. What I want you guys to see is like, hey, when you tunnel vision, when you tunnel focus, this is what an owner does. And you only see the goal. It doesn't mean you're ignoring the rest. Like when you might be feeling here, you might be feeling, man, I'm not paying attention to my family. I'm not paying attention to this, my friends. Here's the thing, after 6 months or a year of working your guts off for something so extremely unique, your real friends and your family, they're still gonna be there. You're not gonna lose a friend in a year. If not, I mean, was it actually a friend?
No.
If after a year of you working, by the way, for a position where you could give them a job, if you needed to, if you lose that friend, like, was it actually worth it? Right? But it's not like it even happens that much, man. When you focus just on the goal, all the negatives disappear. And these are the people that win in the field, right? Because when you don't do this, there's things that start happening in the future. People stop seeing growth. They think they got it and they start getting up maybe into a little bit of a slump. Or they consider a bad thing in the field, why I'm going to have a bad week. or they consider a bad failure maybe on a training class, and they consider how all of them are going to be bad. And they do this same thing that we all do when we laugh when we see memes like, you know, the little meme that talks about, can you imagine a 2-year-old walking that falls and the 2-year-old starts speaking perfect English? Like, yeah, this whole walking thing is just not for me. We all laugh at that because it's ridiculous, right? What are you going to tell a 2-year-old?
Get back up.
Get back and walk again, right? But so many times we let the tunnel focus go straight to the negative, and we cannot focus it back up, right? And we get so thinking about the negatives and the weather, and you think about what's hard instead of thinking about what's possible, right? Which is why some people that are in this room right now that you might think you're doing well, you might have advanced a little bit. Maybe you got some people on your team. Maybe you did well yesterday or the last few days, and you think you're the shit. And you think that, or you've been here for a little bit, so you think you got it. And really you don't. You know, you might be in here thinking, man, I got it, or I have a great relationship with this person, or I'm growing, or I'm going to push for level 2 in a little bit, or, but then you look at the weather and you're like, damn, this sucks. And you look at your team and you're like, I just need one more person, and you count them as numbers. I know some people in the room feel just like that. Or you go out, or here in the office, you're really serious, you perform, you're a great person, you're growing, and then you go outside of work and do something stupid. Well, you know it's not a good leadership choice. Or maybe you have or maybe you're giving your cross-line reasons to think less of you because of decisions you make, poor decision making. You know, maybe it looks like you're crushing it, but some people in this room right now, and when we're doing those things, we're like, we perform, but then we go back to like my old self, where, hey, this is not work, so I don't have to be serious all the time. I can have so much fun. I can contaminate my relationship with this cross line because it's okay, because I just want to have some fun. And you just don't get it. And you just don't get it. That this is way more of a, this is not like, how do I separate work from my life? It's like, it's a lifestyle change. Like, if you're gonna be a police officer, you can't just be a police officer on your shift. Are you gonna see, is somebody gonna rob your neighbor's house, you're not gonna do anything? If you're a doctor and you're off your shift at 10 p.m. and let's say you worked 36 hours on a row and somebody's dying on the floor, you're not gonna help them because you're off your shift? Leadership is 24/7. And as you're growing to a leadership position, a lot of challenges are gonna happen. I went through a lot of that stuff. I made a lot of the wrong choices. And it doesn't mean, the good thing about this business is you might have made something, you might have done something stupid, or you might feel like you're that person that I'm talking about a little bit. You can still fix it because the business gives you an opportunity every week to fix it all the time. And like, we have short memory. Leadership also has short memory, and we forgive because every leader knows they've made mistakes. They've been through the same path. Does that make sense? Anyone relate? But I want you guys to like, hey, dude, we know the weather sucks. We know it's not ideal to go and it's 29. So the only way my positive brain can stay focused on this is thinking about Chicago. That's at 5. And they're dogs. They're like kicking Steven out so that they can go quicker in the field. Because they're like, if the more we run, the less cold it is, and the quicker weather gets better. Because they don't, for not 1 second, they're gonna let one of these things distract them. Like, you cannot have, like, you cannot always win, right? And that's why I think you guys need to pay attention to the people that really, really, really succeed in this business. Like the day, you guys are gonna see it the day Tracy gets promoted, because this guy's changed his life. Not that you have to make this crazy radical change, but when you become radical about what you do, and it doesn't matter, nobody cares how old Tracy is or his age, is when you become radical about the decisions you make and giving up on a $50,000 or $60,000 deal that he had to go play football in order to accomplish something bigger. Or when you look at Tommy that like almost gives up on a his daughter's 16-year-old birthday because one of his leaders here is crying because they have a bad day because they're because they couldn't because they're unprepared or something that's not important. You know, like it's when you pay attention to those stories that the thing changes. So what I want you guys to do today is don't try to walk away from this. This meeting is the reason why we tell you when you get a car failure, we're like, go get 18 more. We're not stupid. We know car failures are not good, dude. Every time I get a card, I hope it goes through. I'm like, Jesus. Hopefully it's a credit card, so it never declines.
Nothing red, nothing
I
red.
always think that I want every customer to buy it. By the way, aren't the days, raise your hand if you've done like 7 or more. All of you guys, wasn't those days probably days, you didn't get many car failures, you got a lucky day, like you got all of them go through, back to back.
Yeah.
It wasn't a rich neighborhood at all. It's just like, that's how you do 8. Okay, the field is designed that you can still do 4 without the car failure. It's not one or the other. You know, that's why we're not tricking you into getting card failures. We want you to learn to get excited about the negatives, because if you get excited about something that's negative, if you can make your attitude so like this, when you have a problem in life or in something personal happens, you're going to be the same way. You're going to have something negative happens, but your gut is going to make it like look positive, and you're just going to make the best out of the worst. So when the best thing happens, you deserve to have more. Some of you guys here, like you're so like ingrained into like having less, man. You're just so ingrained, and you keep making choices that are just not choices of a winner, right? If you always compare yourself, like what would a winner do now? And if you copied that 80% of the times, you would be such in a different spot. Me too. When you decide to go to bed and not open the book and read, when you know you need to read, because we tell you you need to read. When you decide to like knock the door maybe a little less, so then you're like, yeah, nobody opened the door, and you can use that to trick your brain into thinking that's the reason why you didn't do well. Or when you go out there already today thinking, you're already thinking like, what am I going to say at the end of the day? People didn't want to open the door because it was cold, so they didn't want to buy it because it was cold. Like you act like you're not a part of the problem. Like we do that stuff, right? But it's the people that are going to win, because this business is not simple. Here's the training program. We got to make it look fancy in the interview so that way Claire can have a job. But here's really how the training works. If you want to break it down super simple, is you sell stuff, you teach a few people how to sell stuff, you learn how to do payroll, and you run the business. Entry-level leadership assistant manager, boom. Nice. Now, is there leadership needed for you to train 5 people? Absolutely, and that's why we have all the development. But that's really it. Like, that's it. So what I want you guys to do today is, like, what's this here? And if you don't have nothing to write here, good. Ask your upline, what's your this? And give up the me for the we, and go and do stuff for someone else. It feels really good. Go and help Chang get to NC. We help Chang in this office. We promote 3 offices from here. Chang is an automatic NC. And her 3 kids are going to have an incredible lifestyle. And you contribute to that if you don't have a big thing here. Now, if you do, don't get distracted. These things are going to be there. The weather's going to hit you today. At some point, the weather's going to make you feel like, oh, man, you should quit. Everyone's a quitter. Everyone quits everything, man. It's just the difference, right? So I want you to tunnel focus today. Make your circle. Also, watching like how many of the people you associate with have the little thing. How do you call this? The little paper they have at cricket. How many people that you surround yourself, they have it cricket. They're like aiming here. And that's where you see them going nowhere. You have people like that in your life? They never do this to their life. So they're like, huh. The people that work here understand, and the people that do this and attack this, they understand, okay, that's what the business, this is not, we're not going door to door. That's not what we're doing. The people that recognize, they're like, dude, I'm staying because, I don't know about you guys, but like here for me, my first 6 months that I worked in this business, I learned more than 4 years of college. I'm like, wow, maybe they forced me to read, but I did learn more from those books than 4 years in college, $40,000 against $18 and 42 cents of Amazon books. And people stay because they know that. And they know that knowledge will pay the dollars if that's what you're looking for. So when you go in the field today, get excited. We're jacked. I'm jacked that it's a harder day, which is really just cold. I prepared so much. It's hot, man. If you should be out there and you're like, dude, I got so many layers on me. That's tough, right? There's no such thing. Ask people in Chicago. There's no such thing as unprepared. As being cold is unprepared. If you had 3 layers in your pants, 5 sweaters, 2 things for your head, 4 pairs of gloves, like you almost have to like undo yourself to talk to somebody, you won't be cold. Your attitude will be more protected and you'll be able to stay more focused. But if you don't prepare, your thing goes everywhere because you drop stuff. So go in the field today and act the part. Today is when you see the winners. There's always going to be whiners. You know, always. Guess what? When we have the weather right, does everyone just do well?
No.
No. People still suck. People still suck because it's all in your mind. It really is. And like when some people like complain about houses, Tommy and I laugh about it all the time. We know houses. I gotta work harder to get 5 in houses. I'll tell you that. It's more difficult. I gotta work harder to get 5 because you gotta walk more and you gotta. It's just a little bit more hard working. But you can always get 5 in houses every day because I know I've done it, so I know you can do it. You just gotta work harder. But guess what? When we get a person complaining like, "Hey man, I did 5 houses," I'm like, "Why did you get 2?" I'm like, "Well, I was in housing." So is that a reason why you got 2? Because you're in housing? Guess what? We put that person in an apartment the next day, they also do 2. We're like, now what? Genius? It was never that. It was always, where is your focus? And the person that's focused here, majority of the time, they're advancing in the program. And you can see it. They're advancing, you're advancing, you're advancing. Negatives are happening to all of you. Personal life, it happens to all of them. But there's people that are always advancing, moving, man. Like Cassandra. Like she's probably had the most negatives, but advancing, advancing. She ran a training class. We don't know what she said, but nobody came the next day. Just Samantha up there. We love you, Samantha. Hey, that's hard, man. But she's like, doesn't matter. Focus, focus, focus. Some of those people, they're not going to understand, like, hey, some of those people one day are going to have to be maybe doing this, and they're not going to understand. And they're not going to understand, like, hey, that might be me. Let me give them a little bit of grace. Let me ask the question again, just in case they're nervous, right? Just like some of you guys did to your upline. Who recognized their upline was nervous when they did your interview? Anybody like that? I was nervous when I did Tommy's third round. I'm like, this guy, I hope he doesn't notice I was nervous. I was nervous as shit. Then I realized he started and he was nervous too. I'm like, cool. You want to start? But hey, stay focused, man. Today is when the most challenges seem to appear. That's when the winners show up. That's when the winners show up. That's why Tommy went out there yesterday. He's more sick. He's sick as a dog, man. He got 6. And high roll your face. And he hasn't been in the field full time for like 5 months. You guys should all do better than Tommy, just off of straight practice. And he goes in the field yesterday, does 6 on a sucky weather, on the cold, plus training somebody brand new, carrying the weight, man, carrying the weight. Because his daughter ain't gonna give 2 craps how Tommy did. His daughter's like, hey, Dad, what you got for me? I'm 17. So, is that cool?
Yeah.
Do you guys think you get a little bit more mad, man?
Yeah.
Get a little bit more mad. You can win and you deserve better. And if you're not winning, you deserve better. Talk to more winners. Talk to people that are winning all the time. Focus, tunnel vision. Maybe ask your upline, hey, can I make a change in my life? Like, dude, it's okay to be radical about this thing. It's okay to be fanatical about your job. This is not your job. It'll take you to places. It's okay to be totally fanatical about it and win. Can you guys do that?
Yeah.
All right, we're going on break. It's 11:23. Back at 11:50. 1, 2, 3.